Hold on to your hats, America, because the Trump administration just pulled another doozy. On Tuesday, January 28, 2025, they slammed the brakes on federal grants and loans. This spending freeze, as they call it, is supposedly temporary. They say it's all part of a review to make sure your tax dollars are being spent wisely. But let's be honest, this smells fishier than a Trump Tower seafood buffet. The official line from acting OMB Director Matthew Vath is that this is about aligning spending with the administration's priorities. Now, when they say priorities, what they really mean is their ideological agenda. Think rolling back environmental protections, ditching diversity initiatives, and targeting transgender rights. Because apparently protecting our planet, promoting equality, and ensuring basic human rights are just too wasteful. This freeze affects both new grants and unspent funds from existing ones. We're talking about potentially trillions of dollars here, folks. But hey, at least Medicare and Social Security are safe, for now anyway. As for Medicaid, food stamps, and disaster relief, well, the jury's still out on those. Because who needs healthcare, food, or a roof over their heads when we can afford another tax cut for billionaires, right? This whole thing reeks of an administration trying to impose its will on the country, regardless of the consequences. They're like a bull in a china shop, except the bull is wearing a MAGA hat, and the china shop is the entire American social safety net. The freeze hasn't even fully kicked in yet, and already we're seeing the devastating impact. Immigration services and refugee assistance programs are reeling from the blow. The Department of Justice, in a move that would make Jeff Sessions blush, has already axed contracts for legal aid to immigrants facing deportation. So much for due process, right? And if you think that's bad, wait till you hear about the refugee situation. Organizations like Global Refuge, which provides vital support to over 6,000 refugees, have been forced to halt essential services. That means housing, job training, and other programs that help refugees rebuild their lives are gone. Poof. Just like that. Because apparently, compassion and basic human decency are also on the chopping block. This isn't just cruel, it's short-sighted. These programs save lives and help integrate refugees into our communities. But hey, who cares about facts and logic when you can score cheap political points by demonizing vulnerable populations, right? The chaos unleashed by this funding freeze isn't just limited to the federal level. State and local governments are scrambling to figure out how they're going to cope with this sudden loss of funding. And nowhere is the uncertainty more palpable than in the realm of transportation. Take Kansas, for example. Federal funds make up a whopping 40% of their $1.7 billion transportation budget. That's right, almost half their funding for roads, bridges, and public transit comes from Uncle Sam. And now, that money is frozen solid. Projects are being put on hold, contracts are in jeopardy, and state officials are left scratching their heads. But it's not just traditional infrastructure projects that are feeling the pinch. Electric vehicle infrastructure and diversity programs within the transportation sector are also at risk. Because apparently investing in clean energy and promoting equity is just too much to ask in Trump's America. Unsurprisingly, this reckless and irresponsible move has ignited a firestorm of opposition. Democratic lawmakers, advocacy groups, and legal experts are lining up to denounce the freeze and challenge its legality. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, never one to mince words, called the freeze a blatant power grab and a violation of congressional authority. And he's not alone. Attorneys general across the country are preparing legal challenges, arguing that the administration is exceeding its authority and acting unconstitutionally. The criticism isn't just coming from politicians and legal eagles. Non-profit organizations, already stretched thin, are warning of dire consequences. They argue that the freeze will cripple their ability to provide essential services, from homeless shelters to food banks to suicide hotlines. Because apparently, in Trump's America, only the wealthy and well-connected deserve basic human dignity.